I know. You want to get the weight off just as fast as I do. You know, rapidly losing weight is a great reward when we want something quickly and we want it now. Although sometimes this can be a hindrance or be an issue. It can put your hormones in havoc, yes, because you watch me do it. It did do it to me. Over the past years, I've lost 20 to 25 pounds up and down. I have lost it rapidly. There's been a time that I lost 25 pounds and did it like in a month. And that was with extreme intermittent fasting as well as extended fasting, also with dry fasting, all in that 1 month. It can really hurt your chances in a long run of staying at a good weight and keeping it off long term. I did keep most of the weight off for the 2 to 2.5 years and then moving forward now. But because of hormonal changes, getting older, over 50 now, it has been a challenge when dealing with balancing the hormones. Now, what is the one thing you must do to keep the weight off, to get rid of the weight in a timely fashion? And this is very simple. It's just be consistent. Consistency. I don't know how I can say this anymore. There's no room for really cheat days. I've done it all. I cheated on the weekends. I binged 3-4 days a week. There's been times that I just maybe binge 1 day a week and then I think I'm fine. But really the weight kept ticking up. At the end of the day, you're gonna have to ask yourself, especially if you're trying to balance your hormones and work with your diet and naturally lose the weight, you have to be consistent day in and day out about the meal plan you choose and what it is that you are trying to accomplish. The body remembers. It really does. It adds up day to day. So if you're doing a certain amount of calories, maybe you're calorie counting, 1 day a week can throw the whole thing off. If you're doing whole food plant-based, you can eat a lot of calories. Although you have to be consistent every day, show up every day, and eat the foods that really make you most happy. So being consistent is about building a healthy habit. And you know, if you've read any books or you look this up online, at least 30 days it takes for a habit to take effect in becoming your everyday thing. So you don't have to think about it anymore when you're trying to gain a new healthy habit. If you're eating a different type of diet and eating foods that might be new to you, it will take at least 30 days to build the taste palette, right? Your palate, your taste bud will start to crave the higher quality foods of nutritional value, such as whole foods, right? Unprocessed foods. You may be used to just eating junk food daily. I did it in the past. I would eat cheeseburgers. I would go through the drive-thrus. I would eat whatever I could on the road because I'm in sales. But as I work from home more often, I know that I have to make meals at home. If you're having to struggle with eating at home, but maybe you just need to meal prep at the end of the week or on the weekend, get your Tupperwares together, carry your lunch every day if you have to. I used to eat in the car and just sit there and eat a salad, and it worked out. It really did. But we have to really commit and be consistent. That's the one thing that I can say to you because it's not a shortcut situation. I know, I have videos in the past about shortcuts and how to lose weight quickly, especially if you are trying to get into a certain dress or outfit for a major event. Yes, there's ways of doing that, but you have to ask yourself, am I damaging my metabolism? Am I doing too much too fast? Ask yourself, is it really worth it? If you stay consistent and you lose the weight gradually, say you lose 1 pound, 1.5 pounds a week, that is excellent. That's so excellent. That's a great pace. And that's really very realistic pace. If you're trying to lose 30 pounds, then think about it in 30 weeks. It's really not that long. The days are getting shorter. you look up, 1 minute is January and then the next only a couple of months and it's already October, right? This whole year flew by so fast. If you started in January and you went for, say, 10 months in a consistent diet, a consistent plan every day, in and out, being consistent, eating proper types of food, also eating proper amount of food to be satiated enough. That's why you have to enjoy the food that you eat. Get the food that you really would love to eat continuously. Now, that doesn't mean you have to eat the same meal every day, but choose a couple of meals that will carry you through the rest of the week. Maybe choosing 4 to 5 go-to meals that are your lunch and dinner. Stretch that out, and then you kind of mix and match it a little bit, maybe taking starch and potato, and then the next day maybe it's sweet potato, and then maybe the next day it's rice, something like that. Or it's your protein, maybe it's black beans one day, next day it's chickpeas, the next day it's fish. I mean, it can be so many different directions of how you choose just by picking your staple items, 4 or 5 items of each macro category, right? Protein, fat, and carbs, and picking 4 or 5 items. And that can turn into multiple meals when you mix and match. Does that make sense? I mean, I know it makes sense. I know it does. So making these small changes, it will work. When I simplified my diet and stopped trying to make elaborate gourmet types of food, it just clicked for me. I can eat a ton of vegetables, and if I need to steam it, I steam it. If I want to throw it in the air fryer, I can do that. If I just want to nuke it because I'm in a rush, then I will do that. Now, I know that's not a good thing all the time, but it's there to back it up. Or I just eat raw and have a great big salad and throw it together. Throw some beans in there, throw some tomatoes, some onions, maybe some fruit. You can be so creative with raw food. So if you don't want to cook, you have these options. Make sure you keep your refrigerator stocked up so that you don't get into a position where you just have to find something that's processed, that's considered junk food. And if it's in the house, you know what happens. It's going in. And I know it for me because I have to battle every day with my mom's diet and what's in the house because she has unprocessed food. When I get in a pinch and I run out of some produce or something, then I start grazing the place. If you want to stay consistent, you have to keep your place stocked up. If you want to stay consistent and you're sharing a space in the kitchen with foods that you want to eat but you can't eat, leave your house right at that moment when you're feeling like you are going to bend. Go to the grocery store and pick up what you need. Again, these foods should be of nutritional value, whole foods, plant-based, always the base of where you start. And if that's 100% of what you do, that's even better. Feel satiated about it, and so that you don't end up binging. The other thing where I fail or fall short, or maybe you guys will agree, is when we pick a goal and then we make such a strict diet that it's just impossible to follow. I've done it. I did the eliminations of a lot of foods, and it's okay for short term, maybe a couple of weeks, but we still have to look at is how do I stay consistent? And once I get to the point where, hey, okay, I'm going to start a new diet. I'm going to cleanse, say, and maybe start off with a fast of 24 hours just to set the point of your body getting rid of a bunch of junk food out of your system. I'm going to hit it with the whole foods and the plant-based, and you may not be used to it. So remember, it takes time to get used to it. Your body might be, gassy from a lot of vegetables if you haven't done it, in a long time or been consistent. So you have to give that time. That might take you 3 weeks to a month for that to subside. So being patient with yourself is about consistency, right? So keep these things in mind. Simplify your diet. Love what you eat. Change your environment if it is chaotic, and so you want to bring down the stress, hide it from yourself, or moving into another area, like maybe you have a back pantry, maybe you have an extra refrigerator or something in the garage even. I have an extra refrigerator, so I put things in there that I know that I have no business touching. And give yourself at least 30 days or more doing just that, being consistent with the meal plans that you have chosen for yourself, and see where it goes. And then you can look at and reevaluate at that time. You always want to do minimally 30 days to be consistent and to actually see if you need to make an adjustment to your diet. A question for you: are you simplifying your diet? Are you staying consistent? Even if you're not, we're not perfect. We understand that. Every once in a while, we're gonna fall off the wagon. If you have any questions, you wanna leave a comment, please do below. And if you wanna find me on Instagram, I'm at RegEdited as well. Come on over and say hi and DM me if you have anything you want to share. Don't forget that caregiving begins with you, and always keep searching for that perfect bite and balance. Cheers.